My name is Trudy Ann Richards, and I am the author of Biracial Me. Biracial Me is about knowing and identifying your true self. It addresses how to handle criticism, it addresses your character, and it addresses how to love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, who will? When I used to attend a university in Charlotte, my history professor, Dr. Packer, myself, and a few other history students started a research about police brutality in America. This research later became an exhibit in the Levine Museum downtown Charlotte. While conducting this research, I was faced with questions and thoughts of my own. Questions about hate, questions about racism, questions about police brutality, among others. How will I answer questions from my kids when they ask about the color of their skin? How will I answer questions from my kids when they ask about the hate that other people give? Fast forward a few years later, I gave birth to two beautiful girls, Ariana and Aaliyah. But the hate that was silently covered up became so loud. The hate and division that I thought would eventually go away grew even stronger. One day I was shopping with my girls at a store, and a Caucasian lady came up to me. Her question to me was, "Are you babysitting?" And my attention immediately went to her. I stopped what I was doing and I looked at her and I just laughed. And I took my kids and I walked away. I guess at that moment in time, I walked away because I didn't want to respond harshly. But in my mind, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Like, why would that be the first question you would ask? Now, if anyone knows, they know that my kids, they look absolutely nothing like me. This wasn't the first time this happened. I remember I was at a furniture store, just looking at furnitures, and one of the assistants there came, and her first question to me was, "Are you their nanny?" And again, I took my kids and I walked away. The real push, however, was when my daughter, she came home and, they had their dinner and it was time for them to get their bath. After giving my daughter a bath, she was getting dressed and she said to me, "Mommy, why is your skin so dirty?" I said, "Dirty, Mama?" She said, "Yes, Mommy, dirty. Why doesn't your skin look like mine, Aaliyah, Daddy, and the rest of her siblings?" I was blown away. For a quick second, I could not believe that my 3-year-old was asking me this question. But I gathered my thoughts very quickly, and I remember responding, saying, "Well, Mama, this is just how God made Mommy, and I have no control over the complexion of my skin. Mommy is very dark, or what people would describe as being black. And daddy is very, very, I did say very, very, daddy is very, very light complexion, or what people would describe as being white or Caucasian. And then she said, well, mommy, what about me? And I said, well, God made you just right. And then I started singing, Jesus loves the little children. And it's a song that I always play for her every night after story time before she goes to bed. It was at this point that it really sank in. It was at this point that I realized that this issue is never gonna go away. So I decided that I had to start doing something. I decided that I had to start making steps towards ensuring that my kids know who they are, ensuring that my kids stay true to themselves, ensuring that they identify with who they are. It was at this point that I realized that I can no longer walk away without answering these questions. Questions from strangers, and in this case, questions from my kids. The issue of racism, the issue of hate, the issue of who am I, the issue of the color of my skin will never go away. And so I decided that I had to start taking steps towards helping not just myself, but my kids to understand who they truly are and who they are meant to be. And so writing this book was one way I felt like I could have done that for them. I also decided to start our own YouTube channel. It is called Biracial Kitchen, and that's just for right now my daughter, my 3-year-old daughter, to learn more about her cultures. My culture, her daddy's culture, and hopefully from doing these small things, she will be able to identify with herself and know who she is and be true to herself. Now, in the process of writing this book, I realized that it wasn't just for biracial kids, but I realized that it's also meant for regular kids that struggle with identity issues. Kids that are struggling to cope in this savage, brutal world that we are living in. Kids that are struggling to find the good and the love that people in this world offer. Biracial Me is also meant for parents that are struggling to answer questions from their kids about who they are, about who they should identify with or what they should identify with, who their true identity is. Parents that are struggling to answer questions from strangers. Parents like me who walked away just because they didn't want to answer too harshly. Or maybe that parent just didn't know how to answer the question. This book is also meant to answer questions from strangers about who you as a parent are. Biracial Me is worth the read. If you have low self-esteem, if you are depressed because you're being bullied by other kids, if you are struggling with answering the question who you are, if you are confused about who you are, if as a parent you're being asked the question, are you babysitting? Are you their nanny? Are those your kids? Then I guarantee you this book will build you. It will build your confidence. This book will allow you to answer questions and negative feedback in such an immaculate way that persons will know that you are strong, courageous, and fearless.